What up, fellas? It's your boy Tacho here, and we're back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes. So today we're going to go ahead and do a showcase for Brave Edelgard. Now this is one of the most disgusting units that I've ever seen in terms of their base kit and what they're actually capable of. This Edelgard is a complete savage, and you're going to see that later on during the showcase. So her weapon grants -1 special trigger, and as long as she's above 25% health, she's granted 1 extra movement. She gains a guidance effect, so she can jump around to your other units, and she also inflicts attack and defense -6 on the foes during combat. Now, I mean, needless to say, armored units are going to benefit a ton from all that movement shenanigans that she can do. And the -6 attack and defense is going to help her out so much in combat, it's ridiculous. Also, she has Black Eagle Rule, which grants her a guaranteed follow-up attack regardless of who initiates combat. So you can use this as a player phase tool for Edelgard to initiate a double attack herself. Or you can have her bait with this and gain a double attack, like in the sense of quick riposte. And it also reduces foes' damage by 80% from their second attack onwards. Now, the one bad thing about the damage reduction is that you're not able to get it on the first attack. But still, I mean, being able to negate damage by 80% after the first hit is still going to be a really powerful effect, especially in arena mode where we're going to be showing her off. I did go ahead and take off Distant Ward for Distant Counter. I feel like Distant Counter is just going to be better overall, especially if we're talking arena mode where Edelgard is going to encounter a lot of bow units like Legendary Leaf, Legendary Alm, and Legendary Crom and such. So Distant Counter, definitely the better choice, I would say, between Distant Counter and Distant Ward. And for my Sacred Seal, I decided to go for Close Defense. And now, in hindsight, I feel like maybe that wasn't the best Sacred Seal that I could have gone with. But in my head, I was thinking I was going to see a lot of melee-type units that have effective against armors. So I wanted to have Close Defense to just give me a bit more defense when I'm in a fight against melee. But let's go ahead and start the showcase, and let's actually see what Edelgard is capable of. Alright, first fight. We're up against a Legendary Crom right out the gates. That's perfect. I wanted to show off Edelgard versus Crom as much as possible. Now, Crom may have color disadvantage on Edelgard, but he makes up for it because he is effective against armor. So Crom is like one of the most annoying units to deal with in arena mode, and if Edelgard can secure a win against him, I think that's going to be really good. So right there, we were able to abuse the guidance shenanigans that she gets, so we could get this impossible bait on Legendary Leaf. Very cool stuff. Guidance is super good in arena mode. Being able to just move around however you please is very helpful there. Okay, on this turn, we're going to have to bait both Julia and Legendary Crom. So we should be able to do it. I took a couple of seconds here just to make sure I was going to survive. I had to calculate damage a bit. It is very tricky against Crom and Julia because they have lull skills on them, and they're going to be negating any of the bonuses I may be getting from Eliwood. So I do have to be careful, but otherwise I should be fine here. Yup. Okay, so here is Legendary Crom just getting wrecked by an armored unit. That's so satisfying to see. I'm sure you guys struggle against Crom as well if you're running armored units in arena mode. So just being able to slap him like that is so much fun. Alright, and once again, we are going to show off the guidance shenanigans that Edelgard gives herself to just go in on this Tiki and get the KO. Very cool stuff. Guidance, like I just said, is so good for arena mode. Alright, this fight here, we're up against a Legendary Alm, and we're up against Duo Ephraim and Duo Hector. Both of those units have effective against armor, and in the case of Hector, he's also a red unit. So let's see how Edelgard does here. Now, Legendary Alm is also a pretty tough unit to bait, but if I can just park Edelgard on a defense tile, it's not a big deal. Also, Alm is made out of paper, and Edelgard has the highest attack stat in the entire game, so it's very likely that she can just one-shot that Alm and not even have to worry about getting hit twice, or worry about having to take the hit from his special attack. Alright, and last up is going to be Duo Hector. It is a little unfortunate that this guy didn't have a Sacred Seal on his Hector, but not really the biggest deal. It's still going to be impressive if I can win this fight. Alright, look at that, man. On a defense tile and with the 80% damage reduction, it's like impossible to kill this Edelgard. It's so nuts. I have no business being able to win a matchup like that, because Hector has color advantage and type effective damage. So the fact that Edelgard was able to win there is really mind-blowing, to be honest. Okay, once again, we're going to show her off with color disadvantage against a foe that has effective against armor. So this time it's going to be Kid Marth. So let's see how Edelgard does against him. Alright, we're just giving it a turn so I can get on the defense tile. As long as I'm on a defense tile, there's like pretty much nothing that can kill this Edelgard, because you're going to survive the first hit for sure, and then you're pretty much guaranteed to get the 80% damage reduction after that. So it is very safe having Edelgard on a defense tile like this. Now, a couple of people have actually suggested that you could run Pavis or Aegis on Edelgard to get some damage reduction on the first hit, but it's going to be very tricky to pull that off effectively, because first of all, you would need Brave Lucina to provide the breath effect to Edelgard, so that way she's going to be able to activate the defense special on every hit, and also you would need some way to start her off with the -2 cooldown count, which is pretty difficult to do. So it could be a really cool strategy if you can find a way to get it to work. But for the purposes of a showcase like this, I feel like a build like that would just require way too much setup and way too much support. So I was trying my best to make this as realistic of a setup as possible. So I am playing her in arena mode here, and I wanted to use a potential arena team that someone might be running. So we have Legendary Eliwood for the Wind Blessings and also the bonus doubler and the support he provides. We have the Fallen Corrin, just because he's a dragon type and he scores really good. So he allows Eliwood to activate Vision of Arcadia there. And we also have Duo Micaiah, who, as you may have noticed so far during this showcase, I've tried my best to avoid using the Duo skill with. Otherwise, this would mainly just be a showcase of her, and I wanted it to be just Edelgard showed off as much as possible. But the reason why I decided to run Micaiah on this team is because she's the only unit that really has a healing type of skill you can run in arena mode. So she has Sacrifice, which scores really good, and if I can use that to heal Edelgard, that's going to be really clutch. Noontime is very good for healing, of course, but in some situations you may not really recover as much health as you want. So just having Sacrifice is going to be really clutch. And right here actually is one of the few instances during this showcase where I was forced to use the Duo skill. Now, I could go ahead and finish off Geese no problem with Edelgard, but because of the way this map is set up, I have to use the Duo skill and finish him off on this turn. Otherwise, he's going to go in and attack one of my other units. So just one example of why I hate these new maps so much. They have so much bias towards flying type units. Like, as you can see on the bottom right there, it's just all tiles that really hinder your movement unless you're a flyer type. So I do kind of hate doing showcases on the new maps now, but it is what it is. I'm just going to have to suck it up and deal with it. Okay, right here, we're showing her off against a legendary Salif. This guy, the showcase that I did for Salif is pretty much the reason why I decided to do my showcase teams a little bit different. If you guys recall, I showed off Salif with a ton of support, and I did get a little bit of flack in the comments section on that video about that. So from here on out, I'm going to do the showcases with the most realistic setups as possible for the environment that I'm going to be showing the unit off in. So for Edelgard, we're showing her off in arena mode here. So I'm running as most realistic as possible arena team that I could. Alright, Salif, of course, he may be a god on defense, but he's not really as good on offense, because he doesn't have any type of double attacking for when he initiates combat. So Edelgard easily able to make mincemeat out of Salif there. Alright, so far so good. We are doing pretty well with this Edelgard. Alright, once again, we're going to be up against a legendary Chrom here. Also, we have a Black Knight, aka Zelgius, and we also have Surtur. Alright, there is one good thing about this map in particular. Based on the placement where that legendary Chrom spawned, I should be able to bait him pretty effectively. So I can go in and start things off by finishing off Julia. And Chrom is going to move to the side so I can deal with him at my own pace here. Alright, I could bait him, but I want to try to initiate on him if possible. So I gave it a turn there. But Chrom, of course, Chrom has to be such a ridiculous unit to deal with that I will have to deal with him on the defense tile. So even though Edelgard does have color advantage on Chrom, you still have to watch out because effective against armors is no joke. So if you're going to be running Edelgard in arena mode, just be aware of what she can and can't actually do. You don't want to throw her up against enemies when she's not going to be able to successfully bait them. And also, make sure you watch out against units that have Special Fighter, because they're going to inflict guard on Edelgard and she's not going to be able to use Noontime against them. So if you're trying to fight units that have Special Fighter, just watch out. Make sure Edelgard is going to be either taking no damage or not going to worry about being low on HP if you do that. Alright, and last up, this guy has Surtur, so I'm just going to bait him in a bubble like this. Let him come to me. And poor Surtur doing 0 damage to this unit. Man, Surtur has sure fallen on some hard times when he can't even touch the recent unit. Okay, but it is what it is. Poor Surtur, but I mean, Edelgard, she Axewoman, she powerful. With that 45 base attack. So let's just go ahead and put it in on Surtur and make mincemeat out of him. Okay, actually, I was in a bit of trouble here because he was going to proc his special if I initiated on him first. So I had to let him go ahead and attack me there. Not the biggest deal. Alright, this time we're up against a full dragon team with legendary Julia just tossed in there for the blessings. Alright, just like I said earlier, I have to watch out against these guys that have Special Fighter, because I'm not going to be able to activate Noontime against them. Alright, but we can start things off by baiting Julia. Now, Julia, of course, she has Light and Dark, so any of the bonuses I'm getting from Eliwood don't really count if I'm fighting Julia. So that does suck, but we are still able to beat her with relative ease. And for Myrrh over here, I guess we should be fine on the defense tile. Yeah, wow, we're taking 0 damage from Myrrh. Alright, that's pretty disgusting. Even though we are on the defense tile still, I mean, that's pretty nasty to take 0 damage against a unit with color advantage. Okay, Myrrh is going to be able to activate Aether on her next turn, so I am going to use the duo skill for the second time on this showcase, just so I can get rid of her right away. And I let Myrrh initiate on Edelgard there, so I would have the 80% reduction on this Aether hit. And now we should be fine. I don't really think I have too much to worry about against Sothis or Tiki. Neither of them have color advantage, and Edelgard should be fine to just go ahead and shred them. Alright, Sothis activating Sirius. Good job, Sothis. You took 80% reduction on that. And we should be clean to just go ahead and initiate and finish. I used Sacrifice there to recover any of the stat drops that I had, and also get back some health. And all that's left now is this Tiki, and we are fine because we have color advantage. So that's going to wrap us up for the showcase of Brave Edelgard. Pretty awesome unit, and definitely a very cool showcase. I love the fact that she has guidance and the 80% reduction. It's super clutch in a mode like Arena where you can mess around on defense tiles and just jump your units all over the place. So Edelgard is super solid and definitely going to shake up the Arena meta, I think. I can't imagine what it's going to be like to have to fight a +10 Edelgard on a defense tile myself. At that point, like, even units that have color advantage and effective against armors are struggling to really do anything against her. So, gonna be interesting to see how people plan to combat this Edelgard. But anyway, that's gonna wrap us up for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the showcase, and hope you guys enjoyed seeing Edelgard in action. And as always, this is your boy Tacho signing out. So take care, fellas, and I will catch you again on the flip side.